If Nixon actually picked up a phone in 1969 and spoke live to two men standing on the moon, what exactly were those men holding on the other end? Because, well, last time I checked, the first commercial wireless phone wasn't invented until 1983, 14 years later. So either someone handed Neil Armstrong a device that didn't exist yet, or there's a conversation happening behind this story that nobody in school ever thought to start. And here's what makes it even stranger. The signal would have had to travel 238,000 miles through the vacuum of space, bounce off a receiver on the lunar surface, and come back crystal clear to a rotary phone sitting in the Oval Office, with zero delay, zero static, and zero drop signal in 1969, when people were still watching black and white television. But wait, because here's the question that should be keeping you up tonight. If NASA had that kind of wireless communication technology in 1969, why did it take the entire world another 5 decades to build something close to it? Here's what the textbooks actually say. Nixon made a phone call, July 20th, 1969. He called it the most historic phone call ever made from the White House. Now, nobody's questioning that a call happened. What people aren't asking, and should be, is how. The technology required to send and receive a clear two-way voice transmission from the surface of the moon is not simple. You need a transmitter powerful enough to blast a signal through 238,000 miles of deep space. You need a receiver on the moon capable of catching that signal without any tower, without any satellite relay in between, and without any power grid. The astronauts had backpacks, oxygen backpacks. The lunar module was roughly the size of a small garden shed and ran on power comparable to a modern laptop. And somehow, a phone call came through, clear, live, broadcast to the entire world. Meanwhile, back on Earth in 1969, people couldn't make a call from one side of a city to the other without a landline plugged into a wall. How does that math work? And now here's where it gets really uncomfortable. The moon is not around the corner. It is not like calling someone in another state. The distance between Earth and the moon means that even light, the fastest thing in the known universe, takes over a second to travel one way. Any real transmission to the moon should carry at minimum a 2.5-second delay each direction. Listen to the recordings of Nixon's call. Listen carefully to the pauses. Watch how the conversation flows. Ask yourself, does that sound like a man waiting for his words to travel 476,000 miles, round trip through empty space before getting a response? Because here's what's wild. If the delay isn't there, then the signal didn't travel that far. And if the signal didn't travel that far, then where exactly were the astronauts? This isn't about being anti-science. This is about being pro-questions. The most dangerous thing a person can do in 2024 is stop asking them. If this made you think differently about something you were taught as a simple fact, good. That feeling right there is worth chasing. Hit follow. Because this page goes places classrooms never will. Every video drops a new thread to pull. And trust me, once you start pulling, you won't want to stop. The next one is already waiting for you.